Hey, what's up, guys? It's me. It's Roy. It's Horizon Picks. It is the 25th of May. Welcome to Toys and Talk with Collecting Chaos. I am a full-time eBay reseller, also YouTuber, doing all things YouTube, toy-related, auctions, etc. Tonight's topic, if you saw the slide, it is everything Spawn Todd McFarlane. We do have two people coming on the panel. First, you know him, you love him. He's Kollecting Kaos. And then we also have another guest, and I will bring those guys up as well. So here we are. How are we doing, guys? Good to see you. So it's Kollecting Kaos, and this is also Patrick Murphy. Welcome, my friend, to the panel. Good to see you, my man.
And Perlini is in the chat.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. So
there's Annie. Annie's here.
Yeah, we're gonna probably see who piles in here. But Patrick, give us a little. I wanted you in on this topic tonight. McFarlane, Spawn, Todd Toys. Tell us why.
Oh my goodness. First of all, thank you for having me. I'm very honored to be asked to be a part of this. And look, ladies and gentlemen, tonight you get a full face, not the typical Murphy, as has been pointed out in other chats. But no, McFarlane,
it's okay. Most of my videos, all they see is my hands.
But no, I'm very honored. And one of the things about McFarlane Spawn Toys is just the character, the animation. Obviously, Todd McFarlane, it's been said on this channel many times, he revolutionized, the comic industry back in that time. He's kind of become like an icon legend in his own right. For me personally, what really stands out about Spawn is the animated series, because the voice work of Keith David actually is very inspiring for me when I started my audio career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Keith, he just has that iconic voice, right? And I even think of him going back to the John Carpenter. What's the one where they're with the alien and way back the alien, and they're in the frozen what is it, where he comes out of the chest, and I forget, not They Live, but the other one, the older one with Kurt Russell, the remake. I'm losing it. Anyway, he's just that voice,
Yes.
He just has that iconic voice.
That was the one where they're up in the frozen.
Yeah,
I think the original was in the Arctic, and the remake was in the Antarctic.
Yeah, what is the name of that movie? I've drawn a blank. It's the with the alien. He's where they're testing with the gun and the blood, and then it's like freaks out. I forget the name of that.
Are we thinking of The Thing from 1982?
The Thing. Oh my God, The Thing, right? And he's sitting, and he's one of those guys that's like
the Thing from another world, and the original chest burster.
Right, right, and it turns into this different crazy stuff going on there. But yeah, he's just that iconic voice. But I think I will say that, I think we said it a week or so ago, that Spawn animated series, the first one, was just so well done. Maybe because Todd McFarlane was so involved, it was like, man, they got that right on,
Absolutely. And I mean, even for that time, I know like the comic industry started going more towards the darker comics with the 1985-86 Dark Knight Returns. Right. But you didn't really see that in animation until later. But I mean, it was, for me anyway, I can only speak for myself and how it influenced me. Right. It was very inspiring.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. There was just something exciting because it was also HBO. So you actually had that adult vibe to it. And just the chains and the voices, and Billy Kincaid, and just the a lot of adult themes going on in the Spawn comics. I think they really got that right. Just saying some hi to some people in the chat here real quick. Hello everybody. Yeah, thanks for coming. If I miss anybody, just do a shout out too. You guys, you can always do the little @ symbol and say hello. We'll try to say hi to everybody. Hey, Harry Humstone, good to see you again, my man. Thanks for coming. Hey, Todd Rizak, good to see you, man. Awesome. Pearl Nini, how are you? Good to see you, Perla. Perla's Precious is here. We got some people coming back. Appreciate the coming back to keep watching these shows. We are trying to keep it various in what we're talking about. But I think the thing too, and what was crazy, the shirt guy right here doesn't own a Spawn shirt, so I definitely need to get one. I'm going through my arsenal, and I'm like, oh, I don't have a Spawn shirt, so I went with. So Patrick, can you name this one? Chaos kind of wasn't sure. Could you name it?
Well, that was after my time.
Anybody in the chat? Can you name this?
Is it a Green Lantern spin-off type thing?
Yeah. I'll give. It's from the Green Lantern Corps. Okay. This is Avarice. So they made a whole bunch of different ones. So this was just one that a friend of mine gave me, and I'm wearing it just for fun tonight.
Ironically enough, when I was asked to be on, I was like, that's one of the first things I said to Horizon's like, man, I don't have a Spawn shirt.
It's all right.
And I was like, well, you know what? For Chaos, I'll put on.
There you go. Hey, it's one of my favorites, Alex Ross.
The Alex Ross.
Ross Superman.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, I still like Kurt Swan better, but Alex Ross works.
That's an awesome one. Diecast Chaos. It's wild seeing headsets and no Darth.
Here's the reason why Kurt Swan is my favorite Superman artist.
Yeah.
He pretty much made the Superman outfit the way it was for 40 years.
Right.
Before that, it would change from artist to artist. But once he did it, it stayed that way. When Neil Adams did the covers, he did it using the Kurt Swan style costume.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a couple. I mean, you guys, if anybody that's new, I see a lot of new of the same folks from last week. Awesome. Anybody new? Again, tonight, my channel, it's toy centric. Just everything toys. We do have some crossover with the comics, especially with Spawn and McFarlane, because it's kind of taking it from comics to toys, and that's what we'll talk about. But we do talk a lot about comics too. I will be on Chaos's channel on Thursday, and then it'll be more kind of comic centric, but also
and of course,
toys too.
Patrick, you're always invited to that one also.
Why, thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, it's good to see Misha Renee. Hello, thanks for coming. Good to see you. Appreciate that. Hey, Steven the reseller, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Just catching up with some folks here. We're about 10 minutes in, and it looks like we're have some people coming in. Girls, cool shirts. Yeah. Hey, what is it? I was off see. What did he say? I was off to see orange. Oh yeah, he was trying to guess my shirt. So yeah, I mean, I can give a little bit of a background with the Spawn toys. Gosh, it was in the beginnings of really kind of eBay, right? This is like in the 90s, was kind of getting into it. And then I was doing a lot of toys, comics, G.I. Joe, stuff like that. But then, the comic book art, I have just like Chaos, I have a pretty extensive comic collection. But the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man art was really the thing where I was like, the way he did the webs and the way he drew that, and being able to see that, and then just to have these toys come out was unbelievable. And for me, going to, which kind of is a tough topic. I heard they're coming back, but Toys R Us, right? Going to Toys R Us and trying to get these toys because they were just hotter than hot. It was like, and certain ones were hard to get, and that was something actually I really enjoyed with one of my sisters. Was actually we would get in the car, go to Toys R Us, and like try to get somebody in the back to show us a case, and like maybe get some of, because there's some of the figures were like one to a case or one to an entire palette, I think, when you go with the like Malabolgia, which I'll show later, and so and be able, remember, we would catch somebody who worked there and go, hey, do you have any? And you would always get the guy who would be like, no, man, I don't know what you're talking about. And of course he did. But then a couple times we got somebody who just didn't care, and they would drag out a couple boxes and open them up. And that really was where I started to, gobble these things up and sell them and whatnot. So how about you guys? Chaos, you want to give us your, Spawn?
In 1994 is when I opened my store. Why do I have an Echo? I shouldn't have an Echo. It's not. I don't think it's coming from me because I don't have any way to do that.
Yeah, I don't have. How about now? Any better?
Yeah, I don't see anything now.
Okay, I'm gonna stay. I'll stay a little farther from my. But
in 1994, I just opened my store. I ordered a case of the Todd McFarlane Spawn first series, thinking maybe it'll sell. I mean, it's a toy. I don't know. And before that, if you wanted a high quality toy, you had to go with starting lineup because those actually kind of looked like the people they were supposed to be.
Right.
And then I opened the case of McFarlane toys and I was blown away. I mean, these were great. Of course, I couldn't get a second case because they were sold out already. But I put them out, and I put them out at what I thought was a reasonable markup, and they were gone in 2 days. Every single one of them was gone in 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah. So how about
the second series? I ordered 2 cases. From then on, I ordered 2 cases of each, and I would sell out pretty quick until it got to around the 3rd or 4th case. Then it started slowing down because they were easier to get in the toy stores and in the big box stores. You could find them easier.
Yeah. How about you, Patrick? I know you have some, don't you? Have some Spawn, don't you? I think you showed me.
Yes, I do. And I tried my best to find my original Wave 1 before the show. Just a lot of things been going on today, and I do apologize for not being a little bit more ready than I wanted to be, because that was really what I was wanting to showcase, that I had the entire first run. But
Sure.
Roll back to something that you said, the chase figure. That's at least around our area is what we called it, the chase figure, where you were going to multiple stores to find. It's like you'd have 2 or 3 cases of, like say like there were 6 in a series, okay, and every case would have 1 through 5, and then in like every 5th case there'd be the 6th figure, and you were running from store to store to store. But what was cool about it, at least for me, is I started talking to these people that were stocking and stuff of that nature. And this is back, when like I guess there are still 24 Walmarts around. I mean, I don't know, but other various retail stores that were 24/7. It's like you got to know the overnight people, because the overnight people, they were laid back, they were chill. You could sit, you could talk. You didn't have the hustle bustle of every day, and that's when you got the really good figures.
So that's why they don't put their inventory out, and the people in the mornings have to do it for them.
Well, that was the thing. Was I was in a couple auctions. Actually, I was on Tiffany's Cool Finds. Anybody, shameless plug, Saturday night, Tiffany's Cool Finds, I'll be on there. She had a Jeffrey from Toys R Us, a plush, beautiful giraffe with tags. And I'm like, oh, poor Jeffrey, man. He's out, he's out,
He's homeless.
But Toys R Us, I think people were saying, I guess.
I think somebody bought him.
Somebody bought him, and they might come back. So I'm like, oh, it would be awesome now knowing what I know, using my powers of persuasion to go back to Toys R Us and like do a do-over, like try again.
Here's a funny little story for you. I went to a Toys R Us and I went to the action toy aisle and I wasn't impressed. And I went to the clearance aisle and there's like 30 Mojos there. So I bought like 6 or 7 of them.
Right.
For $2 a piece or something. Took them back to my shop, got the stickers off. I used a little lighter fluid, got all the old stickers off, and just sat on them for, I think, 2 years. And all of a sudden, Mojo was like $40 because nobody had it. Nobody bought Mojo.
Right.
So that was the rare figure.
Yeah. Some of those Toy Biz I know that for a while, is it Marvel Legends that did the the Build-A-Figure? I know I have them back.
I think they're still doing it.
I have the Galactus. I have the big Galactus. That's just like, but I got that on the eBay, right? I didn't piece that together, but that was so cool that they were doing that then, But yeah, what's up, Emery? Good to see you. Hood Inc. in the house. Good to see you, bud.
Hey, thanks for coming out, everybody. Much appreciated.
We're almost at the 20-minute.
But like I said, when McFarlane Toys came out, that changed everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Without McFarlane Toys, you wouldn't have Renegade. You wouldn't have all these other companies that popped up and disappeared. But they had good sculpts.
Yeah.
And the sculpting got so much better.
So we'll start showing some of what we're talking about. Anybody, I have a feeling most of the people in the chat kind of know what we're talking about, but I'll start with the beginning, which is right here. So the original first #1 Spawn. Okay, some of these items are going to be offered up by it now. This isn't one of them, guys, but I'm just showing this. So this was the first. The Spawn, so you got it on the bubble. It also included a comic book behind it, which, as I'm not mistaken, Chaos, custom comic as well. Totally different, right?
Yeah.
For each figure.
From what I understand, yes.
Yeah. So when you got this, and I think we were talking about it was the regular Spawn, medieval Spawn, Violator, and
I
missed it. The clown, right? Yeah. And then they had, I believe it was maybe either the Spawn Mobile or the dragster thing, and then the alley.
The Spawn Mobile was big. It was huge. I have one in the other room, but I can't get to it.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Series 2?
Or
was
that I think it was Series 2 or 3.
So here here they are. So
there you go. Oh yeah, no.
There you go. So yeah, I should have flipped that around. So yeah, hell yeah, the Tremor. And again, there you go. Medieval Spawn was cool.
What's the copyright on that figure?
So this one is 1994.
Okay, so that is a first.
Yeah. So this is the first one. And even what's interesting, and I have one here. What's interesting, and I have one loose right here. What's interesting is even by its standards now, it's fairly crude compared to where he took it, right? There you go. Cool. There you go. He's chilling. There you go. We can see if I can put you away. Okay, here we go. Trying to get you. How do I do that? Switch you around here, Patrick. Woo. There you go. All right.
Oh, that's better.
A little bit better. Oh, yeah, there you go. Cool, man. Yeah, I love that. So what was also cool about these was this guy, I mean, his cape can be kind of bent forward to kind of have that shroud that he had in the comics. I love that he has this crazy mace thing with a nail in it. It's just very crude, But again, great stuff. There's medieval. Yep.
Yeah.
And the shield is this interesting ninja star kind of. So you guys out there, if you ever find these, I mean, in the wild, you pick them up. I mean, people love whether they're complete or not. I mean, ours are, and you'll get a little bit more for them. So, so that was really the Spawn number 1 series.
Series 1.
Yeah, series 1. So there's that. But then, we can bop around here. But, we were talking about, and I know it was part of the animated series in I think it was maybe the second season, or Angela. That was another one that came out.
Oh my goodness.
So there's the Angela, and then one of the great things about McFarlane Toys is he had some awesome female figures. And absolutely. You really didn't, I didn't see it. I have some decent Wonder Woman from before this, but man, you had, so here we go. I have this one. And this one is also a variant. I'll go back here. So this is Angela, okay, on the card, but she's actually the purple variant if you look at her costume. But oh my God, exactly like the comic.
Yeah.
Just this incredible level of detail. And she even has like the little bit, on her side of her head. And, but this one, she has the purple details. And that was another interesting thing, right? Just like comics variant, the variant editions are so hot.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Those were the 2-3 o'clock in the morning runs trying to find all the different variants of that particular figure. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this one's a little more desirable than your normal Angela. So you guys, if you see her, even if she's loose and she has some purple details, her boots are actually purple. Grab it. A little bit more value, more desirable there. So check that out. But yeah, awesome. Angela, part of the, there we go. We'll go back up here.
All right. So this is some of the stuff that I pulled out for tonight's show, since we're already starting here. And I apologize for not getting these a little bit more cleaned up. So
yeah, I only have one thing that I brought out.
This would be the brown.
Oh, yeah. Okay, got you. Yep.
That one I had. That was the one that came in the case that I had.
Go ahead, Patrick. You're big, man. Go ahead.
All right. And now also too here now, notice we got McFarlane Toys. So when the original series came out, it was called Todd Toys. And then somewhere, I want to say mid-season 2 is when they changed the name to McFarlane Toys. So this would be, I think, this is the one, and correct me if I'm wrong, please. This is kind of the one that you would find most. This wasn't the super hot, variant, if you will.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's the one that came in the cases that I had for the second series.
Now, this one's kind of beat up. The blister's not in the greatest condition, but I want to show you something here. This was one of the variants, similar. Now, for those that are paying attention in the chat, can you tell?
Oh, I can tell. Yeah.
I know you. You know exactly why this is a variant.
Yeah. That's cool.
Aside from being purple.
Is it purple?
Yeah.
It is, but it's not that I'm looking at.
I'm not used to light in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't. So, but yeah, no. Yeah, you're right.
But at the top, it says Todd Toys also.
It does say Todd Toys, so this was still pre McFarlane, so this was before the switch over. I guess she is purple. Pretty sad that my eyes are getting to the point that I need a camera to look. But anyway, anybody else notice something different about this particular figure? Should I hold them up together, Horizon?
Well, I see that obviously the staff, you have the ribbon.
Yep.
You have,
I guess.
That was an interesting. Yep. Yeah, it's just subtle, but.
Oh, she has a.
The staff.
The covering is different.
Yep.
On the purple one, it has the white.
Yep.
That comes down, and I don't see it on the other one.
Yep.
But then that might be my old eyes.
Well, the big major difference of the two is this one had the ribbon on the staff. So that was one of the variants. All right, honey, what do you got? So this was a Todd Toys variant now, and I apologize. I'm not trying to be offensive when I say this, so that's kind of the disclaimer. But there was a variant, and I think this is the one, and I'm not going to be able to pick it up on the webcam, but this is Angela without underwear. Okay, some of them they left the white paint for her underwear off, so that would be this variant. But wait, there's more.
Yeah, that one was really hot, as I remember.
All right, which one are you, honey? Okay, so this is another Todd Toys purple. Oh my god, so many! Oh my goodness, so many, so many Angela variants. And then now, not necessarily a variant on this particular figure, but just another Angela to throw into. This was more series. This was series 3.
Yeah.
Series 3 Angela. So, oh my goodness, I had so many. And this is, again, this is just a small. I have some that are open, floating around. Oh, wait a minute. What do you got there? Do you have a sword? I'm learning something new as we go, ladies and gentlemen.
I think all of them have the sword.
Okay. You know, interesting, this staff here has the wings on this. Oh, this staff is completely different. I noticed like the piece that you put in the staff was off-centered a little bit. But yeah, no, okay. So check this out. I just learned something new tonight. Yeah, so let's see. So brown and purple. Let's see. Now this is McFarlane. This is Todd. Okay, I'm going to stop. Stop. Stop!
He's like, stop!
Stop!
Get off.
Todd McFarlane was a genius at licensing, too. I mean,
yeah,
he licensed the Spawn image several times to several different companies, including this one. And this came out in 1994, and it's the only Spawn thing I have out.
All right.
This is the...
Go ahead, man. Show it.
This is the Interlag International vinyl model kit.
Awesome. Yeah, I was saying, we were sharing before the show started that I remember seeing that in like the local like hobby shop, like way up high, and I'm like, oh, look at that. Yeah.
And someday I'll get around to building and painting it. Right. I've only had it since 1994, so it's not too late.
Got a couple other people here, so obviously we say hi to Emery at Jellyfingers. Pat, good to see you, brother. Thanks for making it. We are about halfway into the show. We're talking everything Spawn, Todd McFarlane, toy related, some comic related stuff too. So we can keep moving ahead here. There's so much that we could talk about on this topic, which is awesome. Because
before we get too far ahead, if you don't mind me,
sure,
one of the things about McFarlane Toys, since we're still kind of in Series 1 and Series 2 here, and a little bit of Series 3 there with the Cosmic Angela, but these figures, not only were they, the paint was awesome, because the main thing at the time was like Toy Biz, right? Toy Biz was the big thing with X-Men, right? And while the Toy Biz figures were very...
Toy Biz and Kenner.
Yeah, Kenner.
Yeah.
Your figures didn't... They were smaller, usually, and the X-Men figures didn't have... I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. You had your Omega Reds and you had your... what's the other ones? But like, I think of like Wolverine. You had your straight arm Wolverine, and that's all he did. It's like, and you popped his claws out. There wasn't. They tried to put gimmicks in them, and some of them failed. But you had your Omega Reds. You had your Bishop. Bishop was another cool sculpt from Toy Biz X-Men. But then when McFarlane came along, and you looked at these figures, it's like, I'll be honest with you, Jump. For me, I remember buying 2 of these just so I could do what I'm doing here tonight in 90. In 94, I didn't think I'd be sitting here in 2021 sitting here holding it. But this is the reason why I did this, is because they were just so darn awesome. It's like, I wanted one to play with. I really did. I had a select. Okay. Yeah.
Again, another shameless plug. Metaphorical. What's up, man? I just had a buy last night. I bought from Robert Burke, good to see you. He's requested some Wolverine. So ironic you said that. So here we go. Here's the competition. I hate to.
Yeah, I mean, look at that sculpt, that head sculpt.
And the other competition was the WWF figure.
Right.
And so they were nothing to write home about.
You're talking like, kind of just so crude in comparison, I mean, but even then, the little Snickty was cool to have his little, claws come out. But it's so funny how that, I don't know, just the parody was it was so different.
But with these figures, they, you kind of touch base on it. They look like they walked right off of the comic book from a 2-dimensional plane into a 3-dimensional plane that you can actually hold, you can pose, and just, so much attention to detail. I mean, when you look at like the fist here, you see like the paint sculpt on the knuckles going all the way around. I mean, just look at that detail.
So here's again, so just to give an example too, right? Here is a more modern Wolverine. You would never have this figure without Todd McFarlane. I mean, look at the detail.
Absolutely.
And he's, I believe this is either a Legends or Diamond Select. Awesome, right? So
yeah, I mean, in 1994, that's not the Wolverine you got. You got your, like the other figure you just showed.
Right. Very, very, very kind of crude,
Well, they were crude even by the G.I. Joe standards that came out 10 years before.
Yeah, so we have another, I'll just throw another one out there, and this is, Patrick and I were geeking out on
let me get that straight. McFarlane wasn't crude. The Toy Biz figures were crude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. And
McFarlane's art, totally groundbreaking. His art interpreting these characters, and just that, again, the level of detail. Spider-Man's little webs, the way he drew that. When he did Hulk and he made him almost this like brutish rhinoceros looking crazy awesome, right? How do you make that into a figure? And we will go on to, I'll say one thing, going back to like animated, and I'm not sure, Chaos, if you've seen it, maybe you have, but I mean, we were geeking out on The Max. So that was a Sam Keith comic book. And again, he took that on. The comic, yeah, but there was actually and there was MTV Oddities, right?
Liquid Television.
I'm sorry, it's Liquid TV. I keep mixing that up.
Well, no, you are correct, because there was two segments in it. There was MTV Oddities that was part of Liquid Television.
Right. Okay.
But I just remember that promo.
And that Sam Keith, awesome. But then he took that on, and man, I gotta say, here he is. I mean, exactly like the comic book. I mean, the art. I mean, it is fantastic. The level of detail. I mean, it's even his top is made of fur. I mean, if they made this out of feathers, oh my God, could you imagine? And I know people did that custom. And then you even got the Is. Hey, yeah, there you go.
Oh my God, you got a white one.
So there you go. Diecast, there he is. Okay. You got the Max there. Awesome with the Is. So this guy. And again, I guess I would assume, guys, that Todd coordinated with, well, he was part of Image, so I guess it was no big thing to get but the Sam Keith really wasn't he was the really originator of the art, if I'm not mistaken.
Sam Keith did Max.
Yeah, so what a sculpt. Holy crap. Look at that.
Now, again, with this figure, there wasn't a lot of articulation,
right?
But you got one cool looking character. I mean, again, this thing looks like it walked right off of the comic book.
It is every bit of it. Even
it doesn't need an articulation because it looks so cool.
Right. Yeah. Which I think, I think is something that we'll probably roll up to is how the articulation kind of went away and it was more about the aesthetic of the character. But before we get off the Max, I do have to throw again, because I seen it in the chat, Diecast. He's got yellowing on. This is one of my first ones that started the yellowing process. Now this is packaged with a white is. Now for those, because I know you gentlemen, Chaos, you had a comic shop in Horizon. I'm not sure exactly, but I know you were more into the business aspect of it, where I was just more of a collector. I was to understand back in the day, like an imaginary border that went across the United States, and like southern states got like a particular color, while the northern locations, retail outlets, got the black is, and then like your southern got the white is, or vice versa. But anyway, do you understand what I'm trying to say there? It's like the ones packaged with the certain color is went north, and then the ones with, and it wasn't just this figure, but certain figures like the variants were kind of divided.
I honestly don't remember what color was in the ones that I got.
Now there is something I've seen, and I seen it once, and it was priced way too much for me for this poor boy. It's there was one package that had both colored ises, and I've only seen that once.
Yeah. I had back in the day. I sold a lot of my Spawn stuff when it was just, honestly, now it's way more collectible, fun, has value. Time has gone by. Got rid of a lot of that stuff. A lot of the tough. I had the Malabulgia with the Medieval Spawn 2-pack that I believe you could only get one. Maybe it was one per Toys R Us. Maybe I sold those a while back. Yeah, I mean it's great. It's great stuff. So yeah, the Max. So the Max Triumph. Crazy cool. Last week, it was 2 weeks ago. We can also talk about, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Whilce Portacio, Wetworks. That was another cool series. I'll show them. I did Diecast bought this. I do have another one here, vampire figure, but again, awesome. A little bit larger, he's maybe 10 inches tall. Awesome. So right here, and he of course has his staff. I'm definitely interested, guys, in selling some of this stuff. We could do some buy it nows. Anybody that's interested in this, he is in mint condition with the staff. The staff sometimes broken. If you're interested in this right here, right now, throw it in the chat. I'll do $20 shipped. If you'd like to have this vampire right now, good to go. We can look at it in StreamYard. Just throwing that out there. To buy it now, $20. Anybody wants this? I do have an extra one, and I do have one on the card, so I'll throw that out there. And I will, if anyone's interested on the Max, okay, with the white is, I would do 25 free shipping. If somebody wants the Max, can offer him up. I do have him on the card as well, so if anybody's interested in him. And if you guys see it in the chat, just let me know and I'll write it down and we can take care of that. So Wetworks, we showed the vampire. Diecast bought that.
Before we move off of Max, one other thing. Sorry, didn't mean to derail there. Talking about the MT bodies, did you feel that the the cartoon followed the comic like basically panel for panel, word for word, save the issue where the pit came into Mac's universe. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think that you know, I only remember because I know they had parts of it and then they cut it together. And I remember
You watched
waiting.
it whole.
Yes. And I
Okay.
remember watching it from beginning to end, and the pit wasn't part of that. It was basically, and it's kind of like at the end, it's so deep and there's so many layers. What, you're dealing with different like realities and who's what. And at the end, it was really cool ending. But I do believe that some of the art, I mean, Sam Keith had to have been part of that animation. I mean, it is some of them like him, busting through or in jungle land with her, and it totally almost like exactly from the comic. So I would say by and large, yes. Some of it was again adult theme. You're kind of how much can you really have on TV? And there's this very strange Mr. Gone. There's a lot going on there, and I don't want to get too nerding.
Okay.
Where
Sorry.
people might like, what rabbit hole are they talking about? But again, so there's that. But yeah, I will say, and I do have, I do have a full cut of that animated from beginning to end, almost positive. So if you or Chaos want to ever watch that, let me know. I could send you a disc.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, but yeah, I said hello to some folks in the chat here. Michael Whalen, good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming, representing Pennsylvania. And then I saw Titan Nick, who's part of the part of Mike's comic book steals and deals auction. Good to see you, Titan Nick. So we'll continue. So yeah, we were talking about Wetworks. Will Portacio, another big artist, right?
Here's some homework for people. Take a look at the wrestling figures pre-1994 and after 1995. You will see such a big difference. It isn't funny. Right. Because they paid more attention to sculpting and more attention to the painting after McFarlane released the first series of Spawn.
Oh yeah, right. Absolutely.
And it wasn't just those; it was with almost every line.
Yeah, and I think that because you had the major artists for Image, right? You had McFarlane, Portacio. You had what's the guy? Rob Liefeld, right? And then
Jim Lee.
And there was one or two more, but the Wetworks,
Valentino.
Valentino did Eric Larson for Savage Dragon,
which is still going on.
Yeah,
he's still publishing Savage Dragon.
Some of those are cool. I sold a she dragon a couple of months back, but I'll show this guy. So I showed the vampire. I'll go here. And so here diecast. Here's the werewolf. So this one was another triumph of the Wetworks, and this one used to be really hard to get.
I have never seen that figure before. I've seen pictures of it, but I've never seen the figure.
Yeah, not for sale, but again, just a little eye candy for the show. Do you guys see this one out in the wild? Grab it. I remember going to like a Walmart back in the day, and it was like, I remember a guy was yelling at a coworker, "Where are those figures?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" And he was literally putting up all werewolf and vampire, one after another, and I was like, am I tripping? Like, what is it? Because they were so hard to find. Someone was hoarding them in the back, probably lost his job, and the manager was like, "Get these toys out." So this is still one of the ones from way back that I had, and I remember I bought them all. I literally went.
Here's the thing about Walmart: when they buy toys, they can specify a particular toy,
right?
So they can say, "Okay, I want those werewolf toys." I don't like the rest of the line. I just want the werewolf.
Yep.
And the manufacturers bend over and kiss Walmart's ass to get them.
He just, in this one too, you could see it's so cool. Like he can kind of go on all fours, but then he stands up. He's got these crazy claws and weapons and stuff. It's just like off the hook, man. I couldn't believe this, And when you saw this on the rack, you were like, plus it's also fairly massive. Just barely hanging on the peg, right? This little spindle of a peg,
And that peg looks like it's in pretty good condition up there too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had to go into the vault for tonight. Had to pull out some.
It's funny because I looked at my Wet Works figures and I'm like, they probably won't want to. I did pull some ones that weren't Spawn related, but still within the McFarlane realm. But I did leave because I believe I have Blood Queen. I do have the werewolf and the vampire. Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Just the white. Yeah, I did have the one that at one point that had both of the is. I remember that. Very rare. And back then it was like, oh, rare meant, oh, can I get another $20 for it? Where it's just kind of nowadays, it's the whole everything's changed. It's with the Phoebe and rarity and people wanting to find stuff. So so fun stuff. Take you guys back here, and anybody that has any questions in the chat, just maybe throw it out. Do a couple. You could do all caps or throw a couple questions in front. We'll be happy to speak to that. We're not even in the end of the first hour. I have several more things that I'm going to show that are McFarlane related and are not actually Spawn related, because he didn't just do that, right? He went on and did quite the.
Well, he did his own sporting figures also, and those are amazing.
Yes,
they're so good.
The sculpts,
and the sculpts on them, they're absolutely perfect.
Absolutely.
So before we get too far away from series, I guess we're in series 3-4 now, if you will. Yeah. Do you remember the gold and chrome variants of all the figures that were being released? And I just have a little personal story here. I was seeing a girl at the time, and she went to a comic shop, and I hate to say this, but it was the reality of the situation of the day. And they sold her this figure for way too much, and they marketed it as, oh well, this is like the gold variant. You don't find this, yada 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 yada. And it's like, she gave it to me as a present, and I'm just like, my first words out of my mouth was, how much did you pay for it? And it actually became an argument because I knew that they took advantage of her for her lack of knowledge. And that's what it really boiled down to. And I was the one who took the figure back to the store and look, you know what you guys did here. And I hate to negatively talk about that, but it was a reality, and some people are just.
I used to get so disgusted by the stuff like that.
Yeah.
I had to mark mine up a little higher than a lot of people, but not to that point. Not to the point where I was ripping people off.
Well, it was like 3 digits they sold this to her, and it was just like, no.
Yeah, some of the things that I talk about, on some of the other shows that I make appearances on, and just doing reselling, right? Having a conscience, and Chaos and I have talked about that, and just going to the Max. I remember I was at a comic convention, and it's all comics. It was, this was probably 15 years ago. And a kid just had a box, and this was in it. I said, how much are your toys? He said, oh, and he's like, and then I'm like, oh, you have this too? How much? And he's like, oh, I don't know. How about 5 for all of them? And I was like, and his dad was behind him, selling comics and stuff. I'm like, hey, you know, and again, it was this, it was this, it was a couple others that I'll show, and I'm like, hey, come here, dad. Here, dad.
Yeah,
you know, and I'm like, how about $20? Does that work? And the kid's like, oh my god, like we're gonna go bowling, and I'm like, awesome here, you know. And again, having a conscience, and some of them, I was like, I wasn't even gonna like flip it. I'm like, I'm just putting this guy on the shelf. He's cool as hell, you know. It's like one of those, because you couldn't get it back in the day, and now it's like, whoo. So, you know, and in comic books,
I've been to yard sales where people have stuff that's really valuable, and I want it, but I'm not willing to pay the pittance that they're wanting to sell it for, and I try to offer them more, and they don't want to take it.
Yeah.
You know,
I used to like Mike Wolf on Pickers, you know, well, it's worth more to me, and just kind of that seems to work, you know, and that kind of, we were talking about this morning, is kind of killing them with kindness, or just trying to be that. And I think that that's just, you know, that kind of karmic way will pay off for you. And I've had people come back to me later on at a flea market, a Comic-Con. Hey, there's that guy. Hey, man, I got this. And you're like, oh, dang. All right. I'm down, man. Cool. And you're, you know, so, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of nailed it on the head there. It's like, you know, you got to have a conscience, or you don't, let me back up, because I don't like telling people what they should do. For me, I have to have a conscience. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? Sure. And it's like, yeah, you know, if you go to yard sales and stuff, okay, you know, there's a reason that there's a yard sales. But when you are in a business, when you are trying to run a legitimate business, you don't take advantage of somebody who doesn't know any better. And that's just, you know, because then you got the person like me walking back in like, hey, you know, this doesn't fly. Diecast there, one of his first tattoos, the is that I draw on it, and the tattoo artist traced it onto his arm, was one of them.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. That's awesome.
It's just like I had a woman come into my store, and she had maybe 10 comic books, and I was looking through them, and she said, do you think I can get maybe $10? And I'm going through them, and I'm thinking, well, it's all early Silver Age. Don't really want these romance comics, but it's. Then I ran across a detective comics, and I went, wait, looked it up in the price guide. This is $100 comic book.
Yeah.
And then I went flip through and saw that the romance comics were actually worth money. And I went, no, ma'am, I can't give you $10. She went, well, I was afraid of that. I said, here, and I handed her a $100 bill.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Because it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Of course, I still have them all, but.
Yeah, I tell you, you know, and it I don't. This is like, we're talking about the good side of the force, and now we'll talk about the dark side of the force.
Oh, I've had people bring comics to me too that I would say set them on the scale, because I had a paper scale. They'd set them on the paper scale, right. and I'd see how much it was, and I'd look up what the current market value for paper was. Right. Or and that's I would pay like 2 or 3 cents above that.
Right. You have it where I used to just always gauge it, right? You have the child who you're like, oh, little one, okay. But then honestly, you have I'll say maybe a douchey reseller at a flea market that kind of is just doesn't know, and he's being tough, and then he may not know about a rarer one, and then it's like, I don't want to capitalize, but it's like, ooh, and you guys know I buy all kinds of stuff, so I may pop on like a turntable or some records, but hey, how about these paltry action figures that you have over here? And then, oh yeah, and if it's not in his niche, oh yeah, oh man, no, whatever, give me a couple dollars. And I'm like, I hate to be the like, hoo ha ha, and kind of go, but it's really all it's all, again, if there's somebody's being that way, it is what karma. It is. And
if it's a reseller,
karma,
and they're reselling they should know the value of what they're selling. And if they don't know the value of the selling, I have no mercy.
Right. Right.
But for somebody that doesn't know, yeah, I'll bend over backwards to try to help them out.
Yeah, know your product. Know your product if you can, or if you really don't care. And that's what, not to go down another rabbit hole of discussion, but folks that whatever at a flea market, the folks that don't know, and then are like, well, what does it sell for? I'm just like, oh my gosh,
it's like, why are you asking me?
Oh my gosh.
I'm the guy on the other side of the counter.
I will say, oh well, and sometimes I will if they're nice.
Yeah, it's about presentation too.
This is what I do. This is my expertise. I'll shoot you straight. I am a reseller. How about this? And usually they're like, sounds great, but sometimes if the person isn't so nice, maybe it's a maybe it's a little lower. It just depends, but I buy in bulk usually, all different stuff. So they're if I'm throwing them whatever, $20-$40 for like a bin of stuff, maybe they're probably cool with it. I guess it's all water under the figures, right? So
all right, we need to continue the.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring us here, gentlemen.
No, we'll
the next ladder, the next tier of Spawn.
We're at, so we're almost at,
or of McFarlane.
We're all right. We're at almost the 1 hour mark. I'll show what I deem to be one of the toughest ones to get. It was like everybody wanted it. He was in the Spawn movie, Malebolgia. So here he is, and this one is actually one of the more difficult ones of the Malebolgia. So this is actually the original Malebolgia with the like purple teal highlights, which are kind of hard to see, but if you look close up there, he's got them. But talk about a massive figure, and he's so crazy looking.
And that was when it was still under Todd Toys there.
Correct. So this is an original. Now this is the kind of better one. They made
I think
one.
The next one they made was in a box, wasn't it?
Correct, because this is barely holding on. This one's decent. They even added, if you see, it's hard to see, they added these rivets, right? I can show right on the side here. There's rivets holding it onto the backer because it's way too heavy to kind of be on that peg swinging around. He's a massive figure. He's probably standing up. He's 15 inches tall. I mean, he's got real hair. Tough one to get. And this was one of those ones I traded for. Now this is the kind of the better one. They did make one that was more of just kind of a mustardy brown color, but this one has way more detail. So anybody out there in the chat, you see this dude loose, even pick him up. It's the original Malebolgia from Spawn. This is really the second edition. He was fairly rare. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chaos. One new a case, not even a box.
Oh, not even.
Maybe less than that.
I didn't get any, and I got two cases.
Maybe a pallet. You got one.
Probably one every 3 or 4 cases.
Yeah. Maybe
5.
Yeah, he's pretty heavy. So there it is. And again, this is one of my collection, and have had this for quite some time.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. I unfortunately I don't have mine up here. I thought I did. I thought, but I was wrong.
That's cool. Go back up in here. So
I'm going to fill my cup. I need some more fuel.
You got it, brother. No problem. Go for it. Can put us back up here. Oh, collecting. We can go back here. He'll come back.
So now this was Spawn number 2, as they said.
Yep.
As they called it.
Okay, but yeah, cool, man.
It's got
yeah,
the half and half face.
hamburger head,
meat face. Yep. I apologize. I obviously need to upgrade my equipment at some point, but yeah. So there was that. Let's see what else do I have. Ooh, here we go.
Hey, Resell Chick, nice to see you. Thanks for coming.
Hey, Resell Chick, yeah, thanks for coming out, hanging out. So Clown 2.
Oh yeah.
All I love again the detail of the McFarlane. Just look at the head
on his coming out the mouth. That's on his arm.
Yeah. Isn't that just awesome?
It's just like the comic. I mean, just like crazy, and just just like the previous figure. The background accessorizing is nuts. Like those guns, and it's just crazy.
I mean, and just look at the detail they put in. I mean, you can see, and I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up, the teeth of the head on his arm.
Yeah.
I mean, just insane.
Yeah.
And let's see here. Let's see. And then to kind of, this was around the same time as the Malabolgia that you...
Mm-hmm. The Violator 2. And that was a better one, I thought. The first gummy Violator was just like kind of terrible. That one's way more way more. Hey, what's up, Paul, Philly Flipper? Good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming.
And then again around that same.
Here you go. Yeah, Vertebraker. Yeah, another one. Very high. That was so funny. Doesn't it say 16 points of articulated evil, like crazy stuff. Yeah, so we're just over the 1 hour mark, guys. Thanks for making it. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I do want to do a giveaway. Kollecting Kaos is refilling his coffee. We can do, let me see what I can do here. I will throw something out there. I'm trying to think of what is. All right. I do have it. I'll go back here. Okay. So thanks for coming, everybody. We're at the 1 hour mark. I like to give away stuff on my show. I do have one of these left. It's not an actual McFarlane shirt, but it is a Marvel Mad Engine Spider-Man shirt. It's a medium, long sleeve, two-tone, kids, new with tags. Okay. We'll be giving this one away right now. What I'm going to do, how many people we got? Okay. Looks like we have a dozen people. Let me see what we'll do here. I wrote a number. Don't put it down yet. I'm going to put a go line in the chat. It looks like right here. When you see go, I'm looking for a number between 1 and 13. 1 and 13. First person in the chat will win this Spider-Man shirt. I'll send it to you for free. If you're a lady or you have a child, it is a medium, long sleeve. Just looking for a number. And I will call it when I see it. Oh, let's see. And and there it is. Okay, Sadina, you got it. Thrift, I see it. It is number 6. Right there.
That's all I see is your numbers.
Oh, that's cool. Hey. Oh, wow. All right. Well, you clearly earned this
She
shirt.
was determined to get that one.
She was determined.
Yeah,
she was.
So
congratulations.
Thrifty Junker, you are again a winner. We will send you this shirt. So, yeah. Appreciate it. There you go. I will get this out to you. So there's that. So we'll go back here and Yeah, Dina, just send me if you can. If I won't forget it, just send me a message or whatever, and I'll get that out to you. So I like to do that.
My hat keeps sliding. I think it knows it's too far up. It's again. This is not typical.
I have another cup. I have one. I'll do another giveaway as well, and I have some other buy it nows that I want to do. One more buy it now. I showed this just again, not actually Spawn related. Y'all probably saw it. I'm stoked. The Venom trailer came out. Just Woody Harrelson as Carnage. Psyched for that. But I'm throwing this out there. This is a Marvel Venom cut. It's a painted figure by Slice.
Very nice.
Okay. If you guys could look up comps for this if you like. It does have a little bit right here on the back, a little push in right along the edge. But if you look at it's by Schleich, very good quality. Yeah, it's a German company, so highly detailed. I'm offering this one up $40, free shipping.
It's
if
awesome.
You're interested.
Is that one of the painted PVC figures?
It is, yes. It's a number. The model number is 21506, and it does say, yeah, it is a it is a hand painted Slice Venom figure. If you're anybody interested, and if nobody's interested live, you see this played back, $40. I got a couple of these, just offering that one up. So we can move on. One last thing with Spawn that I wanted to show, and this is like, Patrick, when you were grabbing your coffee, Chaos, Patrick was showing us the Clown 2 and the other Spawn with all the guns. This crazy, he went from this, which is awesome, right? But then I was like, then he had this, which I almost have to go full screen to show this. Here we go. Then he did this. It's just this, like, look at and it's almost like
oh yes, that's one of the cover art.
It is from a cover swipe.
Yes.
And he's missing. Yeah. I'm missing the post. But oh my gosh, I mean, I don't Chaos. I don't know. Do you happen to know the actual issue? I know this is from a cover.
Yeah. I stopped reading Spawn with about issue 30, 40, something like that.
Yeah. So.
I just lost interest in the character.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just, and he's got real chains hanging, he's got just the level of detail on that. I had him propped up, but look at that cape. Look at that. I mean, if anybody doesn't know about Spawn, I mean, his cape is kind of like part of his character, almost in like a Doctor Strange way. Part of his Doctor Strange, it's like kind of separate in a way, but with Spawn, it's his chains, his cape are part of his kind of.
They're living.
Issue 43.
Spawn, yeah.
Which issue?
Issue 43, I believe.
There you go.
So shortly after I quit reading it.
Yeah. So he's just missing. He just has a post that goes right up here. But again, you can, man, awesome. So I'll bring you guys back. Just wanted to show that. I mean, wow. Look, I mean.
Well, just let me know when we get to 1997.
Right. Well, I think this one came out quite a bit after.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're kind of doing the series, so when we get to the 1997 series, let me know.
If anybody's interested in this that I'm holding right now, I'd be willing to do $20. Whoop. Did I lose somebody? What happened there?
You're still good.
I hear it too, but I'm not sure what it is.
What's going on?
Did I lose you?
Hello?
No, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Oh, it's him.
Oh,
that's cute.
Why, hello there, Chaos.
I got another figure that I dug out, and I have something else that I dug out that people will be interested in seeing. I
Well, I like to make
I
you
can't
big
seem
screen.
to part with it. Yeah, we can't do anything without him.
We'll go ahead and we'll tease them up. That's what we're going to
Yeah.
do. You can talk about the figure, and then that way, when you bring it on, they're just going to be like,
It's a big figure.
oh.
It is a big figure. If you remember 1997, they did the big figure.
They did. Oh, I know where you're going. I know. Oh, man, you got me teased now. That's awesome because I know. Oh, hey, there you go, sir.
It's not Angela, which is the one I would really like to have.
I seen her. Oh my gosh.
Never seen that one.
I got a story.
I've seen the medieval Spawn one.
Mm-hmm. That's the one I have.
I've seen the Spawn one.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen the Angela.
I seen it at the
Which means I must have seen another one.
Hey, you're big now. Oh my goodness. Which one is that?
That's the Violator.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I mean, it's a little worse for wear, but it still is in the box. Never been opened.
That is nice.
And of course, it has all that stuff on the back.
All that stuff. Now, I don't believe I've ever seen that one, the one that you got there.
Mm-hmm.
I have the medieval, I've seen the regular, and then, like I said, about 2 weeks ago at a flea market, I've seen the Angela. And the thing about the Angela, the box was perfect. Not perfect. I hate you. There's nothing perfect in this world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, here the plastic is crushed in a little bit, and the box is a little crushed. But I mean, it's what, 24 years old.
Oh my goodness! Easy. Yeah. Let's see.
All right, Patrick, quit drooling. We can always talk about this later.
Well, I was just going to say the Angela figure. It was on a top shelf, and I was just asking pricing, and the gentleman he was I don't want to say disabled, but you could tell like he had some issues, right? And yeah. I'm like, you don't have to get it down, sir, because like his hands, you could tell like he couldn't like form a hand and was shaking. I'm like, no, sir, don't, please don't. Well, he insisted even after I said no, and when he got it down, he lost balance of it and he kind of crushed the blister. And the other person that was working at the booth, you could tell that they were upset. And it's like, I didn't ask you to get this down. I just asked pricing. I didn't, I get it. You're trying to make the sale, yada, yada, but it's just like, that was a very awkward situation for me. Yeah. And it's like, no, this, I just asked price. I didn't. And I felt kind of bad because I did walk away, but it's like, no, I'm.
What did they ask for it?
I think they were wanting, I want to say like it was either 40 or 60.
Oh, I would have snatched it.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing, like it was kind of like I was still kind of like circling, if you will.
Yeah.
And the gentleman that I was with, my good friend, and I did a video. He was done for the day, so it was kind of like one of those. We kind of like got out of there, and if it's there, I should go back and get it.
Yeah, when I go to places like that, I like to go with somebody that's ready to make 3, 4, 5 circles. Because you miss something on the first 3 passes.
Right, and I mean, yes. And here's the thing: as I highlighted earlier, I have a case of Angelas. So there's several girls that Patrick has been with over the years that know my horror stories when it comes to Angelas, and it's like, so I don't buy Angelas anymore based on a couple of relationships. Like I was I was cut off of buying Angelas. So it's like I seen her and it's like, I just remember her, like she just like there in my ear saying, "You better not buy that figure. You better not buy." It's like, that was 20 years ago. Stop bothering me.
Yeah, I hope Horizon can get back in.
Yeah, I mean, do we have to? Let me see if I can hit him up. Let me do. There he is. He's hey. Sure what happened. Okay. Not sure what happened there. I'm rebooting everything. All right. Well, the show must go on, and that's exactly what we're doing. So so yeah, that Malibu or that Violator, that is pretty awesome. But that's also the time, if you look at the back of that box, when the focus kind of started to move away, and maybe we should wait on Horizon. But I think that's where the but if you look at the back of that box, that's when they started to introduce like the Kiss figures.
Yes, the Kiss figures are listed on here. The monsters are listed on here.
Oh,
or the first series of monsters.
The monsters, yes.
Yeah.
I have 2 of those figures out of Series 2 and Series. Oh, Youngblood was another one on that.
The Manga Spawn is on there.
Manga Spawn. Oh, I remember that one.
Total Chaos Series 2 is on there.
Let's see here.
And Spawn Series 7.
Let's see. Titan Nick here. I got a Spawn movie bust of Spawn. Don't care what y'all say. That movie was nice, and I still watch it. Hey, and that's awesome. That's awesome, Titan. I mean, honestly, I
liked the Spawn movie. I've watched it several times.
I went to the theater to see it. Now, here's the thing. I think the animated series and it was out at the same time, right?
I believe so.
Okay. Now, and again, this is just my own personal interest, hobbies, yada yada. There was something missing for me as I watched that movie. It was cinematically, they tried to do a lot with the animations of the cape and yada yada. Just for me, I'm sorry, the voice wasn't there. I mean, I'm just, again, that the Keith David voice for me is just, honestly, like I read some of the comics. I was more into the toys because of the articulation, the way that they looked, the accessories. I read some of the comics. I didn't follow it as I know others have, but that animated series, it drew me in. And what drew me in was just the voice acting in that. The range of Keith David's like the clip, and I know if I share it on here, well, for one, I know I can't share anything without the host, but the clip, and I've got it saved on my YouTube. It's a playlist, so like if you go to my channel, I think you can actually watch it. It's when he confronts Tony, and he's just like, "Let that little mystery keep you up at night, fat boy." And it's like, just like, oh my, and just you can hear it in the back of the throat just as it's booming. And I'm sorry, I'm geeking out.
That's okay.
I think this is why Horizon wanted me here tonight.
Okay. Bimo says that Roy is rebooting his internet.
Yeah, he is in contact with me. He asked me if we're still going, and that he is rebooting. So, yeah, of course we're still going. The show must go on.
Yeah, there's certain voice actors that are certain people that make a character when it comes to voice acting.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the animated series for Batman, the Joker. Oh my god!
Oh my god! Go ahead, sir. I'll.
No, I'm going to let you go. But Mark Hamill blew it away.
Every time this conversation comes up, who's the best Batman? You've got your West fans, you've got your Keaton fans, you got your Bale fans, and then I'll throw up Conroy. And it's like they have to stop and think, or I have to explain. There are a few that get where I'm going with that. Mm-hmm. I remember, say 10 years ago, if that question came up, and I said, "Oh, Kevin Conroy," and they're just like, "Who?" I'm like,
because he was Batman.
He was, yeah. just as like you started this with Mark Hamill, Joker, and I know I've watched interviews where his voice it does hurt the pipes for Hamill to do Joker, and then you remember they stopped doing it after the Arkham games. They both stopped respectively doing the characters, but there was one movie they said if they made, they would come back and do.
Yeah.
And that was The Killing Joke.
Oh, absolutely. I can't imagine anybody but them doing that one.
Oh, yeah. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I just watched this, I want to say maybe as recent as 3 weeks ago. And for me, that movie starts at the raining when the Batmobile pulls in front of Arkham. Everything before that was just, I don't need it.
Not important.
I don't care. It's not part of the story for me. But when it starts raining, going forward. And I remember the first time I watched this, and I don't know about you. But again, I'm kind of, I do the voice thing, right? My first time watching it, I felt like the actors were given a direction to hold back. And specifically, like when, spoiler alert, when the comedian came out and he took the hood off, and then his face and the laugh. It's like I felt like it was almost like the direction. And again, I know Hamill's pipes were not like they used to be, but it's like there was certain dialogue that it's just like I felt like it was just almost there, but it was like the direction was held back. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Tell them don't go over the top.
Right.
In a movie that should have been, or in a whole thing that should have been over the top.
Over the top. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, oh my goodness. Imagine Jamie Foxx if Todd gets his way. Give me Michael J any day. I don't get, imagine a Jamie Foxx voice if Todd gets his way. Give me a Michael J voice any day. I'm not sure what that means. I apologize. So I've been watching the HBO Spawn on HBO Max for the last few weeks. Excellent animation story. Which is there a new one that I'm unaware about, or?
Oh, McFarlane's trying to do another Spawn movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just kind of.
But he wants 100% control. He wants to produce it.
Well, let him. Let him in. It's going to be awesome. I'm just kind of keeping up with chat. Again, let's see how many is in the chat. My God, how do you guys do this with StreamYard? Got to go all over the place for stats. All right, we got 13 watching. Hey, look, guys, thank you all for coming out. We definitely appreciate it. We're having just a little technical difficulty, but, that's...
Yeah. Roy will be in it, back in him.
There he is. He'll be in 1 minute. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He wants a Jamie Foxx's Spawn. He's going the Jaws movie route, though. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. So, let me see here.
I want to see an icon movie, not a black Superman. I want to see an icon movie with Michael B. in it.
I'm just so out of time. Aha, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
I had to show something while you were gone.
Hey, that's all right. It's
I'll show it again since you missed it.
No worries. Hey, awesome. Yeah. I have no idea what happened. Laura was texting me, it could be something with StreamYard. And literally everything just did went dark, and you all were just loading, and then nothing. It was
but we continued on without you. We soldiered on.
That's how they market StreamYard, right? When you go down, you can keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go back and watch the replay of the fill-in.
Hey, man, that's right. You can't do it. Hey, right? You can't do it alone on this platform. That would have been,
right.
if I was by myself, that would have been
you would have no viewers right now.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
The show rolling, brother.
Got to roll with the punches, right? So it's all good. Technology. So diecast. I refilled my coffee while my modem was rebooted.
Oh, now that's not fair. That is not fair. I had to use my reserve because I had to do some fill-in time. So if you don't mind, may I go refill mine?
That's great, diecast. But does he have the 4 Vickies?
I take that as a yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Of course. It's all good. Nah, it's just one of those things where obviously chaos. We've seen it happen with Mike.
Yeah.
You know, go
Oh,
down
yeah.
and then
Oh,
like
yeah.
what happened, and it's kind of sometimes you're assessing what's I don't know. It literally just
But it put me in the driver's spot. I mean, it
correct,
made
right,
me bigger,
right. It
which
leaves the
surprised me.
tunnel open, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, thanks for everybody for still hanging. I see we still have 15 people in the chat. We're at about the 90-minute mark. Yeah. Oh, we're still talking about Vicky, the Vicky comics.
Yeah.
So cool. Let's see. I showed that we were basically at the end. So we can start to talk about maybe some other, Todd McFarlane figures. There's so many, right?
Yes.
Last week we did touch on some of them with
Well, there were the sports figures,
sports,
which he still does,
right?
And nobody touches him on those.
But the ones that we were chatting about earlier, Chaos, is again the movie maniacs. So,
oh yeah.
Unbelievable quality figures, and I do have a few of them that I'll show. But that was another, I think he really upped his game there too, where not only was he
definitely
not putting out just these awesome toys, but then taking it to another type of level with. So here's one that I personally like. Huge fan of the Crow.
Thank you, Mama G.
Hey, Mama G, good to see you. So
I like that figure.
Yeah, rest in peace, Brandon Lee. Used to love the Crow. I was trying to dig out. I did cosplay. I was him for Halloween one year. Awesome. But again, just the quality of these. He came with his guitar that went behind his back. Great stuff. So the Crow, one of the movie maniacs. I know they also did, Michael Myers, The Species. I know they did, I think, Freddy Krueger, if I'm not mistaken. And then they also did, I'll show these. First this one. I'll show this guy next. So we're talking about movie maniacs, Patrick, of McFarlane. We're getting into that. So, so yeah, and I know you have some of those too. So here,
I've got it. I've got something I can show.
So here, just the level of detail.
Oh my goodness, can you make that even bigger? That is awesome. No, I didn't. No. Get mine out of the gutter. I'm actually talking figures.
All right.
Man, look at the shocks and just the. I mean, and when you move that, the shocks move with
correct.
that too.
Yeah.
Oh my, that is
super. So this is from I believe the Terminator 2 Judgment Day. The level of detail, it's kind of hard to see. I have a little glare from the monitor, but again, it's just unbelievable. And then, of course, going along with them, talk about a sculpt. You gotta have my man.
Arnold. I need your boots, your clothes, and your motorcycle.
So yeah, right. So yeah, just again, but it looks just like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yep. I mean, it's unbelievable stuff. This is from the Terminator 2 movie. It's got the blaster rifle there, and then they can kind of. So again, just this fantastic level of detail. Movie maniacs. So when you guys see these out in the wild, if you do loose, certainly in the package, I've sold these on the FeeBay. I did a lot around the holidays. Got some really good money. These two I kept, but then I had the T3 guy, the silver guy that gets like blown up, and then a couple other figures. Yeah. But just great stuff. So I'll pull you back here if you want.
Yeah, I want to see some of Patrick's.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I'll start off with I'll save the best for last, and I don't care if you don't think it's the best. It's the best to me. So,
No, I have the best right here.
we'll compare notes.
Yeah, everybody's comparing. You know, it's all good. Yeah.
So I picked her up. Species 2, Eve. Again,
Awesome.
under the Movie Maniacs label.
Yep.
I don't think that this was out of the same series as the Crow, which, by the way, was awesome. I seen that when I came back here. So there's that. Again, like Horizon was just saying, you see this stuff out in the wild. I mean, it's worth it. Even if the box is not in the best of shape, it's still worth something to somebody. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the reason I say that, which leads me to, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead if you were.
Bud. No, I'm just bouncing around. Good.
This is my favorite. This is. Look at him. Oh my God. Oh my
yeah,
God.
the Michael Myers. Yeah, fantastic.
It's interesting because the 2018 movie was just released, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you would go to cons, and on the table you would have like these yellowed Movie Maniacs horror, especially the horror conventions. Horror, okay. Enunciate the last R in there. But you could not find this figure in 2018. I mean, it was, and if you did, you were paying money for it. Even in this yellow condition, you were paying a pretty penny for it. Because again, with the relaunch and everything, so this is not for sale. This is one of my, we'll talk body parts as
right.
level of money before I part with this one.
Yeah, that one I sold the Michael Myers round hollow. I mean, solid loose. You guys out in the chat, you find a Michael Myers like that loose, it always sells. You get, I mean, the one you have, Patrick, certainly a premium in the package, but I would take like Michael Myers, a Freddy Krueger, even the Crow, Halloween, and lot them up. You're going to get a premium on the Feebay, obviously out in, YouTube or Insta land. You can get, you get some coin for those.
So Mr. Chaos, what,
yeah,
Well,
brother, show it.
Okay, now this box is not in the best condition.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
But let's open it up and you can see
Ooh,
what's
let's
inside.
open it up. Yay.
Oh.
Oh,
my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Did you own a toy store at one point?
I sold toys in my comic shop.
Yeah.
I ordered 2 cases of these. I sold 1 case. I still have the other.
Wow.
Sir, would it be inappropriate to ask, because since you've got the box open, can you pull them out and show us, please?
I love it. I love the little boy. Sir, would you please show us
Show you a mint in a mint box.
Yeah.
I am not worthy of this chat.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Look at that! Look at that!
Now, people in the chat, dead stock mint toys. Look at that!
Oh my goodness!
Nice.
Oh my goodness! Look
Hey,
at that!
J1A Bob, good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Hey, Misha Renee, in case I didn't say hi to you.
Yeah.
Hi to you. Look at that, ladies, and right there. I mean, and
Dead
what's
stock.
what's the times, or what's the date on that?
I think it's 97 or 98. I wouldn't swear to that.
And a whole case. Oh man, I'm
1999.
not worthy of this chat. I mean, I need to go down in the audience and.
Patrick's like, I'm out. This is
I'm done. I fold.
I have another case of Spawn toys, but I couldn't get to it, and they are Spawn. It's the Mecha Spawn.
Oh yeah.
Got one of those.
That
cool.
didn't sell worth a damn when it came out, but are apparently hard to find now.
Really?
Yeah.
I've had one listed for a while, and it hasn't had any.
Yeah, but I have a case of them.
I like that. I love that. And Marie, thanks for coming, Marie. She goes, and here comes the nightmares. That's
Nightmares.
awesome. The Bride of the Chucky.
Oh, yeah. And here's the thing: like, if you guys are really into the horror dolls,
Patrick, if I ever decide to break the case, you will be the first to know.
sir, I am not worthy of that. But thank you.
Hey,
thank you. That is
sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. You get
yeah, but it's so hard to break that case.
Oh, I wouldn't.
That's the best answer ever. Yeah, but
I would
22.
not.
The case is 22 years old. Imagine what it's going to be like in another 10 to 20 years.
Well, thank you, sir, for taking that out and showing us and highlighting that. I'm very cool. Honored. That is awesome.
And it's rare to see. That
so did I beat you?
I mean, it's Michael. I mean.
So yeah,
that's Chucky and his bride.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you won.
If it had just been the one box, maybe not. But since it was a whole case, yeah.
We could have went back and forth, but the fact that you got a whole case, it's still in a McFarlane case. It's still got even like the inserts in there. I'm just.
So yeah, we have a couple folks. Metaphorical stop by. Good to see you, Meta. Thanks for stopping by. J1A Bob. These guys are from Meta's comic auction. He does usually on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Good to see you. I see Cam. Cam is in the chat. Good to see you, Cam. He's a big part of the
Cam. Ooh, shiny.
Yeah, he's like, ooh, shiny. But thanks for hanging, guys. I see we still have some folks in the chat. We could keep going. We usually do about 2 hours, but we could keep going if there's interest. And clearly, there's some folks chilling with us.
Wow.
Well, I'm sure you still have more stuff you haven't shown us.
Oh yeah, well, you did lose about 20 minutes there, didn't you, sir?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened. It's all good. We keep it rolling. We can do. I will do a quick. I could do another giveaway. I mean, if folks want one of the things that. And again, if we can try. I'll try a different. I won't do a number this time, but. One of the things, too, that video game figures are some of the ones that McFarlane did. I'll throw this one out there. I believe this is a McFarlane. It's a Halo figure. It might be NECA, but I'm pretty sure it is by McFarlane.
I think McFarlane did the Halo figures first.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, now they've got another company that does them, and they're not as good as that.
And the details lend me to feel like it is. It's so tiny on the bottom, I can almost not even read it. But I'll tell you what.
Halos. Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you what, because there's some people in the chat, and even you guys, if you want it, you Chaos, you and Patrick want to guess. I'll throw a go line into the chat. And I'll give this figure away to anybody who wins it. And I'll put this in the chat and a starting line. This one you can answer as many times as you like. I put the go line in the chat. We'll look at it in StreamYard. This is a deeper one. You're going to try to win this Halo figure. I'll send it to you free of charge. Here's a question. Name a enemy in the Spawn universe and name him and you will win this. Name an enemy to Spawn in the comics and such, and I will give you this figure. So
I mean, I feel I'm not going to. I'm going to disqualify myself because I am going through this Spawn.
They did make a figure of him as well. You probably know. You guys probably both know it.
Yeah, I'm not in.
I'm thinking of several in my head, so I will wait. I will yield to the chat because it's about them. It's not about us. We're just here for.
Absolutely.
We're here for.
I'm here because I like it, and it's fun.
Like
you
that's
can always Google. I don't care. You can Google. No one's gotten it yet.
Horizon.
Wait till we do the GI Joe show.
Is it
the 3 3/4 GI Joe show? That'll be fun.
Is it? How do I want to ask this question? Did I not speak of one earlier?
I don't think we've mentioned this person
I'm
yet.
not sure.
We have not mentioned him on this show yet, unless it was when I was down. I don't think so.
Oh, I think the question is, can we give him a hint?
Okay, I'll give you a hint.
Well, no, that should have preluded Mike. I think I mentioned one earlier in the show. Sorry, my head.
This is a little deep. Okay, so anybody in the chat, if you know Spawn, he had a skull over his face.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you know it, Chaos?
I know it.
I'm showing a dead face. I don't want to give any hints.
Okay.
Can I? Oh, I got a good hint that. Oh no. Okay, I'm not.
Dean is like, I'm better at numbers. Oh, he got muted. Oh. Maybe it's too deep.
No, it's not. Oh, I think I see it. I see it. I see it.
Get it. I think I see it. Do you guys see it? I see it.
Yeah, I think so.
Did Titan Nick get that?
Titan Nick, come on down.
Absolutely.
Nick, you are a winner, my friend, of this figure. It was Chapel. He's had this skull over his face of kind of an assassin hired to take out Spawn. He was in the animated series. He was in the comic books. I will mail this to you, bro. Send me your information.
And I think he had his own comic for a little while, too.
Yeah, he did. So, Titan Nick, man, I'll send this to you free of charge. Hit me up on Instagram, horizonpickspa, because I'm from Pennsylvania, or horizonpicks@gmail. Send me your address. I'll get this out to you. Thanks for hanging out. You're going to get this Halo guy. No problem. All right.
See, my hint was going to be, it's also part of the name of a song from 1964.
Yeah. I was going to give another,
chapel,
yeah, right. Yeah. Right. Go into the chapel.
Oh my goodness. How do you guys do this? I just have to ask both of you, how do you do this? I'm not used to this.
It's just fun.
No. I don't want to say this. This live cam stuff, because I'm used to radio to where it's I can put a song on, I can walk away, I can fill my coffee, I can smoke a cigarette, I can hang out. You put on a long 10-minute song, that's the bathroom break song. You guys are killing me.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? It's
I'm sure in the 60s in the late 60s they absolutely loved it when the Inagata-Devita came out, and they could walk away for 15 minutes.
Right. Well, I like it's to me, and again, I've made this to Patrick and I and Chaos. You guys, what talk with you two? It's entertainment. Being able to share this stuff through this lens is awesome, and giveaways, and I want people to come back. I want them to get something. And again, we have a lot of resellers out there. They want to know about this stuff. Maybe they see this guy out in the wild, or and it's hey, I remember that, and I'm going to pick that up.
So let's throw out a little knowledge and get people in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, when it comes to toys, I know enough to get in trouble, but I've got some nice ones.
Yeah, you do, sir.
Yeah,
it's
I
just
think
a shame I couldn't dig out my Spawn mobile.
Hey, that's no problem. It's my channel. I was way prepared. We will, last week we did a kind of basic movie related, and that's kind of more a general. But tonight I think I like to get a little granular with it. So when people, I don't know about you guys out there, but I have somewhat of a photographic memory where I will see something and go, hey, you know what? I saw that over there, and then I'll usually pick it up and then be able to go back and do the research and throw it up on the eBay or offer it up.
Now, going back to Spawn, they did some smaller figures that were in 2-pack. Or it was a scene, and I have some of those somewhere. I don't know where, but I have some of them somewhere. There was one where Violator's coming out of the wall to get Spawn. I actually took that head and put it on my Chaos tank for Warhammer 40K.
Wow.
Because it was supposed to be Nurgle. It was supposed to be a demonized thing. So I had the arms sticking out from the sides of the tank and the head on the front. People were afraid to play me. I don't know why.
I think when you were getting your coffee, Chaos, Patrick showed the one Spawn, and I was like, hamburger head.
Yes.
That was another variant. And
yeah.
Maskless, and he just had this crazy face as he's all burnt,
Yeah, that was a hot one for a little while.
Yeah. Let me see here.
Yep. There you go, bro. You.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That one was hot for a while.
Now this one I believe was a hot item for a minute.
Yeah. The pilot. Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
Pilot.
Well, what made this one kind of stand out because there's two versions.
The black one too. Yeah.
Yeah. This one is all white, and then but kind of rolling back to the cover one that you just highlighted there, Horizon.
Yep.
So I've had this one for quite some time. Let me see if I can hold him up here. If anybody listens to any of my shows, I'm sure you kind of hear the door opening in the background.
I thought it was my door. That's why I looked.
No. My cat Rainbow loves to come in and out when I got a hot mic. It's his thing. So DJ Meow Mixmaster, everybody here on YouTube. But anyway, so again, just look at kind of like rolling back to what you were saying about the cover. This is again one out of that cover series. You got your actual metal chains, but, and I think this is where eventually the direction of the chat was going. You notice there's not a ton of posability,
right,
with these particular figures.
It's more like a statue,
right? But at a reasonable price that, somebody, because I don't need to tell you guys prices, but some of these statues and busts, they go for like hundreds of dollars, and but somebody could afford this. Somebody could walk into, say, a Toys R Us or a toy store or a comic store, put down, maybe what were these like? Maybe 25 at the time, 30. Am I lowballing? But you could walk out with a decent looking figure that you could display. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember even, back during the craze, it was like anything Spawn related was just, I remember, they did some other smaller figures came out and some, but it was like it was gone. People just gobbled that stuff up, Yeah,
I think the Vampirilla I have was $59 or $79, unpainted.
Oh yeah, my Vampirilla.
Yeah.
Okay. just for Patrick, I did paint it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Look at
there
that.
That's awesome. Look at that.
Look at that. That is awesome.
There's no airbrushing.
Yeah, you painted that. That's awesome.
I painted it by hand.
Now, did you painted the skin too? The skin tone? Oh my goodness.
That is right. Chaos, is that the Frazetta poster swipe?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the model was limited to 350, and this is number 339.
Awesome. Really cool. Yeah. Great stuff.
Perhaps on another show, I'll pull out some Lady Death merch that I have, but that's not this show. We will save that for another show.
It's interesting. I'm just reading.
Well, I only showed that for you, Patrick.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I'm just reading two of the chat, Marie and Pearl Nini, just saying, this is funny. She says, Lynn, they said maniacs and the first thing I thought of was Animaniacs. I'm that bad. And then Perlini says, LOL, I only know Batman, Spider-Man somewhat. My son was never into collecting these kinds of things. Hey, we're going to do a whole show on Spider-Man, no doubt. I mean,
probably a whole one on Batman too.
And Batman too. So that's really, why we're doing this is exactly that. So if you're a buyer, obviously, if you're just into watching and having it entertainment, great. But if you're somebody who is out there, people do, antique booths, flea market, etc. Stuff is out there, and it has some pretty significant value depending on what you find. So.
Now, one of the things that, and we've kind of alluded to this, that McFarlane and the Spawn figure, he moved away from just his own line and then started to branch out, like with, you were shown what works.
Getting feedback from somewhere.
Oh, is it me? Hello?
Yeah, maybe, might be.
Oh,
Go ahead. Good.
All right. Again, out of the McFarlane line.
Oh yeah.
Was that McFarlane that did that, or More Action Collectibles?
No, this was actually McFarlane.
Yeah, it's the Cry for Dawn.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that, and I do have that figure.
Yeah, I have that loose. Great detail. I mean, and again, exactly like the comic. And Linsner, amazing artist.
I love Linsner's art.
Anybody that is into comic art, Chaos, we could certainly do like Turner, Linsner, these types of artists as a feature. Amazing stuff.
Super nice gentleman. I met him at a con about, I want to say 3 to 4 years ago, could be 5 with my memory. I do have some other Dawn figures, and I asked him, I was like, sir, how much for signatures? He's like, just bring them over here, man. I mean, again, super laid back, super chill. He's like, Dawn, awesome, yeah. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. But one of the things that I like about this, again, this wasn't under the Image line, I believe. Am I mistaken?
No, that's like a one shot. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, again, McFarlane produces, and I mean, again,
it's serious comic,
right? And I mean, when you look at her, she looks. I know I'm getting glare and stuff, but she looks like she just walked right out.
Yeah. Even the detail on like her front area has like that kind of snake skin, kind of interesting pat. I mean, look at the detail. It's unbelievable. It's like little, and for anybody in the chat, we're geeking out on this stuff, but it is every bit of like you're buying almost a little work of art. You're buying a little, and it's sitting on a peg in a toy store or a comic store. That's really, the type of stuff that.
And this stuff wasn't made. It wasn't designed to be stayed or be kept in the package. It was designed to be opened and displayed, not played with, but displayed. You play with them, they fall apart.
Yeah. So like you look here, you got your Danger Girl, and like you were saying, you got your they were put on like what's the word I'm looking, like dioramas. Am I using the word correctly? Yeah. And then like you put all 3 of them together.
Like a combo. Yep.
Oh my God! Look, if I may, and I'm sorry to say this. No, I'm not. She was just. Never mind. Anyway,
I absolutely agree.
Thank you. You know where I was going, and I'm trying to keep it respectful.
Hey, I have to find those.
Right back.
I have to find those 3 out of the package on the display.
I had a set. Yeah, I had the full set of Danger Girl. I sold them a little while ago. I do have that Linsner Dawn. I have it loose, and it's impressive because she's got like a sword and she's holding.
I'm 99% sure I have one in the package.
Awesome stuff. There you go, brother. Show it all. Oh, look at it. Oh, you got the 3.
Yeah, that's the one I need.
Awesome. Fish tank. Yeah, that's great piece. Wow.
Yeah, I'll find it one day.
Yeah, cool stuff.
I like to say everything comes through my hands eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. I get you.
But again, the Spawn figures, the McFarlane line, how about let's call it that? Because, we're now into McFarlane toys or McFarlane, I mean, just branching out, you were showcasing the T800 there, and the shocks when you move the figure, like the little shocks in the arms and stuff, I'm just so much detail. And again, the takeaway from this is that this company changed toys. To this day, it's still... You wouldn't have your Marvel Legends.
You wouldn't have I don't think you'd have the Hot Toys either.
Yeah, I think
those super articulated ones. I'm not sure you'd have those.
Yeah, I think that now what's great, especially I could just speak for myself, the internet accessibility to almost anything is awesome. To be able to go and grab something, like you said, like even you were off, Patrick, for a moment. I had the full Danger Girl set. I sold it, but it's gettable. It's certainly maybe more expensive now, but it is gettable. So it's one of those, the FeeBay or internet is awesome to be able to just kind of go out, find it, get it, add it to your collection.
Did that cough come through on the air? I apologize if it did. I thought I muted. I apologize. But no. Now, with your Danger Girl, did you have the gentleman in the series? What was his name?
I did, yeah. He's like the big blocky looking guy with
Major Maximum. And again, you have people like me that when these were actually out and live, they were just buying the girls because they were just buying the girls.
Show the like general dude.
No, I don't have him.
You don't have him.
That's what I was saying. Because you had guys like me who were just picking up the girls. And it's like, you looked at the guy, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I picked up a comic. I thumbed through the comic. J. Campbell Scott's, again, another talented artist. He has, his Megatron and Cobra Commander. Oh, my.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole nother show.
But
give us a bye. We'll talk about that.
We are sticking with McFarlane. But again, but McFarlane, I think what the really cool thing is he highlighted other artists,
right.
Even outside of the Image comic line, like with that, the Cry of Dawn, right. And not just movie license. I mean, it was just, again, he brought to the table, figures like, if you've seen them, like, okay, do you remember the 1978 Star Trek figures? The original? Your little Kenner knockoff Star Wars figure. Again, they did this. They were just they but now you can bring home a working T800 that you can actually move. I mean, how cool is that?
What I have here is not a McFarlane, but I just want to show him to Patrick because I think he'll get a kick out of it. This is Chiodo, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
Yep.
The artist. And this is a special one. These are the wrong ones. I grabbed the wrong ones. I grabbed the crystal ones.
Just a quick shout out, Nana Tank Treasures. Good to see you, Nana. Thanks for coming.
Okay, I'll have to go back and get the other set. This is the see-through set that you can't see.
Got you. Okay.
So I'll be right back.
No worries. So yeah, anybody in the chat where you're chilling, we're just showing toys. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. We can keep going if we want. Anybody have any questions about anything? Throw it out there. We're just doing the show and tell. Everything Todd McFarlane, Spawn, Todd Toys. Go ahead, Patrick.
Another again.
Great one. Yeah.
You could bring this home. You could, and again, it looks like now this figure. I don't believe she was not posable. This was just, again, this is something
sculpture. Yeah.
But again, look at the detail on it. Now her face leaves a little to be desired. I think they could have done it a little bit better there. And I'm not saying that in the rude way. I'm actually talking when you actually zoom in on the paint job on that. But again, I think it's just so small getting in that. But again, you've got that whip. You got the whip sword that's coming out and then going into the back there. I mean, again, just a beautiful sculpt. And even the hair, the hair, and I'm not going to be able to pick this up on camera. Oh, right there you go. Well, I guess the face isn't that bad. Maybe I was looking at it wrong. But you see, she's got the part there.
Yeah, very cool. I used to love that game. I used to like Soul Calibur on Dreamcast.
Oh,
that was a killer. The fluidity of that game was awesome, and the ability to
the 360. Wasn't that one of the first ones with the 360?
Yes, you could kind of turn, and you had a very fluid motion to it. Yeah, very, very cool. Yeah, I see Laura Bima. I don't know what that means. Somebody, Spike can have his treats. I don't know what that means, but awesome, cool. I don't know what that means. What's up, Chaos? What do you got?
Okay, I couldn't find the ones that are the right colors, so I'll show you the pewter ones instead.
Oh my!
Alrighty.
Oh my! Why, hello there.
Yeah, Chiodo. Yeah.
So I've got the clear ones and I've got the pewter, but I can't find the regular painted ones. But I have those too.
Those are very, very nice, sir. Very, very nice.
Yeah, that's also like part of the Todd Toys and McFarlane. What's like we were saying earlier.
Well, no, this was Skybolt. It was a whole different thing, but still, without McFarlane, there would be no Skybolt. There would be no Renegade.
The female figure creating these, somewhat of the sexy figure, doing not just this like totally like, straight, just like the guy figures, only with like a little bit of a sculpt, like completely making it look like the comic book.
Right.
I mean, this may be wrong to say, but real action figures have curves.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course. Yep.
Oh boy.
But the original Lady J didn't have any at all, or very little.
Well, I remember like again, I don't want to get too far off of the spawn, but it's like you look at some of the figures that came out in the 70s and the 80s, and they were very blocky, even the female characters. And there were some female characters, like if you didn't read the name on the package, you wouldn't know it was that character that they were trying to represent. I remember, or else you got the real very thin. It's like you'd have the guy figure who would be all kind of like brr, and then you'd have like the female character that was just toothpicks for legs and arms. It's like, come on.
Oh, no, Scarlet.
Scarlet. So here's for Cam. Cam is like, I want to see the Ernie. I know he just you ask, you get.
Hebert.
He's chilling. He's sleepy time. So Cam, here he is. Sleepy time, Ernie. Tycho vintage. Awesome.
Hebert, it's time to go to bed, Bert.
It's right.
That's right. Hey, JT, the cap guy. What's going on there, brother?
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we're at the 2 hour mark. You guys want to keep going? I'm down. We can chat some more.
I don't mind to keep going, but I do need a short intermission. I'm sorry. This is your guys' game land. This isn't mine. I'm used to being able to kind of like, I need a refill. I need to go contribute to my health. Let's just face it. Let's just call it like it is. All right. I'm going to smoke some Pall Mall unfiltered.
Are you going to come back after your
absolutely. Yeah. Hey, yeah.
Smoke them if you got them.
I gotta have a short intermission, gentlemen.
No worries.
Thank you, sir.
All right. It's no problem.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I said, without McFarlane and his toy line, I don't think we'd have anything close to what we have right now.
Yeah, you got that right. I mean, just groundbreaking stuff. Yeah.
Because if you look at it, look at the new Star Wars toys where they're remaking the old ones.
Yep.
They look so much better.
Oh yeah.
The GI Joes that they're remaking, some of the old ones, they look so much better.
Yeah.
And it's all because of what McFarlane did back in the 90s.
I was looking at I was sold a couple when it was Star Wars Day last month. The Black series of Star Wars, unbelievably detailed. Just it is amazing what they can do with the sculpts, and I could just imagine the guys making them. It's incredible stuff, you know.
So it's definitely a far cry from this.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I've gone through. We could still just chat. Anybody in the chat, if you have any questions for us, usually we wrap it up at 2 hours. We can extend a bit. Some folks are coming in to say hello. You know, just and it's funny. I didn't realize, BMOS, that yes, your cat, I guess maybe he likes my voice or he likes the live. So I didn't catch that. So yeah, cool. He can have his treats. That's awesome. My cats are actually like in the bathrooms when I'm live. They want to just be all up in this, and it's like I can't do it. I can't do it.
My cat yesterday when I came home, he didn't have any food in his bowl, and he stood on my foot. Would not move until I told him, "Will you move so I can give you some food?" And as soon as I said the word food, he ran over to his dish.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Cap Guy still interested, man. Definitely interested. He's got this awesome Homer Simpson. What was one of my favorites of all time show is The Simpsons, and he's got great stuff. And I do, Bobby, I do have some new caps as well, so you can message me. Yeah,
says JT tried to buy a cat at a yard sale in today's video. I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, anything cat related is just like I was considering with my weekly recap. Doing like, because I have from my cat, I mean, he does tricks, he fetches, I was gonna just do like Bridges, like clip of the week, and just cut that in. So people love it. I mean, it's just such a.
I wish I had a way to take a picture when one of the cats I had stood on its hind legs, and I offered him a little piece of sweet corn about that big on the cob. And he grabbed it with both paws on each side and started eating it while still standing on her hind legs.
Yeah.
But no camera, I couldn't do anything. But it was so great.
Absolutely. No, it's cool. Yeah, so Patrick, we're just chilling. I mean, I did go through pretty much the whole my pull list of McFarlane stuff. Thanks for you guys have contributed. Awesome. We're just going to hang and chat for a little while.
Yeah, this like
as far as the Simpsons go, I watched them off and on for many years, and then I sat down over about a 5-day period and watched 30 seasons of The Simpsons, and I've never watched it again.
Wow.
I've never seen another episode.
The Conan O'Brien writing ones and Dana Gould. Those are some of the best, in my opinion. You know, it's just awesome commentary, great stuff, crazy, awesome stuff. It's great. I mean, by far one of my favorite shows of all time.
And that's a trivia question, ladies and gentlemen.
We already used that one, though.
You might want to jot some things down. We said you never know when you're
one of my favorite of all time. I think it went 11 seasons, and I've watched all 11 seasons about 4 or 5 times now, and that was Married with Children.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, Peg Bundy. I'm sorry, I don't care. I mean, even how do I want to say this? 45-year-old me understands what 12-year-old me was confused about when I seen Peg. Okay, I'm leaving it at that. The 12-year-old me had an idea. there was something rolling around in there. But real quick before we go too far into the after show, if you will, if that's what you want to call this segment,
But
I do got one more highlight in this, and maybe you gentlemen can relate to this. You ever see something and you think that should be worth more than what it is? You just
all the time.
and it's like one of those things like, why isn't this worth what? I mean, this is freaking awesome. And you don't see a lot of them, but again, you do your comp sales on the eBay, as Mr. Horizon likes to say, sir.
I call it Evil Bay because I get in trouble every time I go there.
I call it the Feebay because it's in this immediate medium of selling and quick payment, without it's the Feebay, right? And that seems to be the go ahead.
And then kind of also rolling back to the 2-figure pack. This is something I am very surprised doesn't go for what, in my mind, I think it would. I mean, it's a 2-pack. The blister on this is, I picked it up because I just wanted this. This was awesome. And again, when you do your comp sales on these, they're not worth much. And it's like, why?
I think it goes.
Why isn't that a $75 to $100 figure?
I think because it may be, and I don't disagree. I think maybe it's because it's a little farther down the nerding corridor. I think that doesn't. You know what I mean?
What are you talking about? It's same in Twitch. You don't get much nerdier than Twitch.
Good answer, sir. Good answer.
When you're in the nerding, when people are having a hard time with Chapel, you follow. So it's kind of.
I'll take deep down the nerd hole for 1,000, Alex.
That's a game. Ooh, that's a. Oh, see, you bring some stuff up there. You never know. Look at Chaos is even laughing. Look at that. See, we got.
I have several times.
See, you never know. Totally.
Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, just real quick, Titan Nick brought up something. Make sure we hit, or no, JT Stab Guy, and maybe Dina said it earlier. Make sure to hit that like button, people, ladies and gentlemen out there. If you love this show, again, Mr. Horizon and Chaos here, they put on an awesome show, guys. And I mean, show them some love and support. Go, hit that like button, hit subscribe. If somebody could drop Chaos's link, make sure you go subscribe to him as well. So there's the plug for the evening, ladies and gentlemen. That's right.
I think that the one thing too with Sam and Twitch was in the animated HBO. Awesome.
I cried. Awesome. I cried when Twitch got hurt. I mean, it's like I felt that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm one of these. When it comes to like cartoons, I mean, you want to see tears on this guy right here. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, now there's been plenty. I still cry when Prime dies. Okay?
Right.
So,
I think the one line I always remember where he's like, I'm hungry, and he's like, get some donuts. He's like, 2 dozen, sir, and he's like, half that. I'm on a diet. I love that.
I watched the clip the other day, like when they were first in the alley, and it's like, sugar or grease, sir, and he's like, both.
It's great stuff. I mean, it's awesome. We can, anybody too. I mean, you got certainly Patrick's. You could paste anything you like, and
that show that
chat. We're winding down here, guys, but I'm gonna throw this in there for myself.
What was the show that Jim Belushi was on?
The cartoon?
No, it was live. It was a sitcom.
Oh, it was with
according to Jim.
According to Jim, yeah.
There's one episode where his brother-in-law or whatever says, "Yeah, I take butter and dip it in sugar," and he comes back and says, "That's brilliant."
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Horizon Picks this Saturday night, ladies and
gentlemen.
There you
go. Hit it.
Over at Tiffany Cool Finds. I need more script. Anyway, make sure to check out my man. On there. He's gonna have
shameless plug, but not really shameless. This is my channel.
It's your channel. How can you have shame?
Yeah, it's cool. So Saturday night, you guys, I'll be up. I'll be on Tiffany's Cool Finds. What's up, Paul? Thanks for coming back, brother. Yeah, go hang out. It's gonna be fun. These two guys on panel have been there. Watch me do my thing.
Yeah,
I will be putting together some lots. 9 o'clock Eastern. We will go for at least 3, maybe 4, maybe longer hours. Who knows? Just depends. So
make sure to let them know that I sent
and your favorite show from the last 30 years was The Simpsons. My favorite show from the last 40 years, Big Bang Theory.
Because
I knew people like that.
Right? I use it all the time.
I had a guy that I was chatting with online one time, and he's talking to me, and he says, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand this. I do this every day. And I said, yeah, but you're like a rocket scientist. And he went, oh, yeah, I guess I am.
It's funny, like with the Big Bang Theory, like the social awkwardness of the nerds, right? Let's be real. And that's like the whole basis for the show. And I've used that in dialogue with kind of dealing with some of the comic book people, because it just is. It's this idea of like having your stuff, but then like going and retreating to the basement with your toys and comics. It's just an interesting thing. So it's just trying to kind of merge that and be like, hey, come on, show your stuff. Like I want to know. I want to see what you have. I'm interested. Let's talk about it. Let's share that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and one of the things with the Big Bang, and I mean, it was kind of ramping up, but I think Big Bang kind of helped bring it more mainstream. Because I mean, let's face it, these kind of conversations, these kind of things, you're right. You'd go to your basement, you kind of hide away. You wouldn't be having like live one-on-one. This was the geeky, dorky stuff to do. Like growing up, I got made fun of because I played with Transformers.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you. Back then, back in the 80s and early 90s, you'd get made fun of for doing stuff like that. But now today, it's the acceptable. It's and it's like it kind of reminds me of like when I was in high school. I mean, let's face it, I wasn't very well in high school, whatever. Anyway, we all have our high school horror stories, but I remember like when like the jocks were listening to Metallica. It's that same mentality. It's like, no, that's my no. Stop it. Stop it, silly.
You can't listen to my music.
Exactly. That's mine.
That's all right.
But I mean, but now you go anywhere. It's MCU in your face. It's some comic related in your face. It's in the media. It's in mainstream media. It's on the radio. It's here. But 20 years ago that was unheard of. You weren't the cool guy if you liked toys.
Well,
my favorite thing is when somebody walks up to me and we're talking about something and they'll say, oh, there are some comic books that are worth money. And really? I didn't know that.
This emoji.
And then they'll start talking about different things. Oh yeah, I've got like 10 or 15 fishing poles and rods, and got this and got that, and they say, well, do you own any comics? I said, oh, not too many, just about 21,000. And it shuts them up so fast.
Well, that was also, I mean, Philly was part of it. Some of my early appearances.
Yeah.
This was, and during COVID lockdown, everybody, I know I was watching CNN and everyone with this like weird green screen fake. And I'm just, this is my thing. It's just what I have. And it's people like you saw Cam wanted to see Ernie. Other people, they dig on Pikachu, like comics.
Here's a few comic books.
Yeah.
There's a Superman figure
right.
3 feet tall.
Just a few comics. Just a few comics.
There's a Superman figure that's 3 foot tall. There's a white Tiger Zord. On top of it is a Robin model motorcycle. I'm going to add these Spawn figures that I pulled out today. I'm going to add them to the pile over there.
And Mr. Horizon, you just got a few figures back. Just
not this one.
Small,
not the case. That goes back where I had it.
You know, it is every bit like back to like the Big Bang, you know, and people sometimes even the word nerd and or you're geek or nerd. Like I always say, like I'm a nerd. I'm just executive level. That's and I mean that. Like I'm definitely down with that, but I'm also certainly have a modicum of success.
Well, I look at it this way. I was a nerd before it was cool.
Yeah, it's all good, you know, but I also like non-nerding things too. It's just this kind of, you know, I'm definitely into like hard, heavy rock, and you know, I did sing. I was a lead singer in a rock band at one point, you know, when I was a kid, and just different things that maybe the nerds. What's that?
Rock and roll was born in 1954.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we learned something about Mr. Horizon Picks tonight that even I, who knows him for a while,
right around what, February or March was the first rock and roll record released. I was born in April of the same year, so I'm a rock and roll person.
Hey, man.
I've been following rock my whole life.
Right. Yeah. So we had I always will go like this, and you know who in the chat. This was such a funny thing because I was like trying to say, hey, do you know where this comes from? And I made an assumption that somebody didn't know that, and they got a little testy, but it was really funny that she
depends on how you're holding your fingers. Are you holding them like this?
Like this? No, with no thumb.
Oh, then you're not playing Spider-Man.
Just no. No.
I like how he brought it back to the comic realm.
Oh no, it's not. It's not. It's not that. Yeah.
Well, no. If you look at the Ditko, the thumb is out.
Right. Doing that. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah. Not for your reason. Yeah, I've always been called a nerd, but not for your reason, Laura Bimos. Yeah, man. The vocals on Rock Band, you know, and that's people. It's not to talk, and obviously Patrick, you know, with the voice and you know my kind of persona that I bring here. Yeah, definitely being in a band, singing, having that kind of putting yourself out there, having that is definitely lends itself to this, right? So,
oh, absolutely, because I mean, honestly, this is typically what you get out of me. You get the pulsating Patrick Murphy.
Not for long.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, this is tonight. I decided, you know, hey, I'm going to do this. So I do need to get a better cam. As you can see, my I'm not going to lie. This webcam's 10 years old.
It's all good.
Keeps going blurry because I keep moving.
I mean, do I look like the kind of a person that listens to Iron Butterfly, Led Zeppelin, Queen,
you do.
Black Sabbath, Lady Gaga? I love listening to swing and jazz.
Nice.
Also, I like all kinds of music. I'm not just, you know, one genre. Well, not so much rap.
And it's interesting, you know, being a reseller, you know, again, we're obviously, right at we'll wrap it up in a few minutes, guys, but now we can even we're talking music, reselling, we could talk about vinyl records. Yeah. I think that's a huge, and again, even comics and toys get into that when you start to get into
there was a
Peter Pan, the comic record. Right.
There was a reprint for Fantastic Four #1, for Spider-Man #1, for Journey into Mystery 83. Yeah. And they came with the record.
Oh, yeah. I have some over here. I mean, it's one of those things that we could get into, but it's, you know, with vinyl, and for me, I pick up records all the time. I've shared it on a video. Again, being excellent to one another, and I had a person at a flea market literally give me 4 crates of records as I was exiting the flea market. Why? Because nice to the guy, say hello. He's in retirement. He's getting, but again, just like comics, right? Chaos, interest,
My
knowledge.
favorite find was picking up some wax records.
Yeah.
Benny Goodman, and a bunch of the big swing artists. And when I joined the Army, of course I had to do something with them.
Right.
Well, my sisters were kind of dividing the records up between myself, and my mother went, "Oh no, these are not for you," and she kept those.
That was definitely.
My mom took them to a recording studio to see if they could make copies of them so that she could listen to them without damaging them. And the guy just looked at him and went, "Yeah, I can make copies, but we want to keep one of each." So she got copies, they got copies, and she still had the originals, which my dad took back to the radio station later on and sold to the same person that made the copies originally.
And kind of like on the subject of tonight's topic, McFarlane again, the Kiss figures. I mean, let's face it, Kiss has had merchandising since they came out. But I mean, again, you had your Kiss figures. You had a very, I'm not sure it was the very first figure, but you had an awesome Ozzy, and I got him. I just, I know we're past time here, but I'll just show you the back
cool.
here.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got the Ozzy figure, again, and then you had the Beatles, and again, these figures were probably out, but again, they weren't as detailed. When you pick up that Ozzy figure, you were picking up that cover of that album. So again, it like Horizon was saying, it all kind of, in some way, it all just blurs together.
Yeah. Just some solds. I had a full Metallica Harvesters of Sorrow McFarlane set. I sold that around the holidays. I had the Ozzy. I sold that. I had Jerry Garcia, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, all by Todd McFarlane, who does Spawn, all sell. So, and again, they were in the package. I got those in a bulk buy from a collector, but like the Harvesters of Sorrow Metallica set, they're all 4 separate, and they weren't even mint. Yeah, I don't like to talk comps, but I got $350 for that. Nice. So it's out there. If you guys see these, they're out there.
And and for those that actually, and if you don't mind if I plug this website, I mean, since we're on the subject, I think it's only right if people kind of want to learn about this and kind of like follow the history. If you go to McFarlane.com, you've got you can find like the entire series, and the subgenre.
You see pictures of everything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's very well library categorized, detailed, and let's see. Mr. I got Mr. Philly Flipper coming back at the bottom of the hour. Just where are we at? We are now in.
That's good.
That's good because I do that to him all the time on his.
Hey, we're at the bottom of the hour. I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, Adam's exploits. Good to see you, Adam. You're right at the tail end. We're gonna wrap it up. We're going on the 2.5 hour mark. Thanks for coming by, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, Adam. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, so thanks for coming, guys. I think we can, unless Chaos or Patrick, you had anything else you want to add? I think we can wrap.
Just that you were making a comment about how KISS was very well licensed, but what they did was they took the idea of creating this bigger than life figure and just ran with it. And of course, that was done originally by I can't think of the name now.
Alice Cooper.
Yeah, Alice Cooper. He was
That's
really
a great one too.
He was really the first one to take and make an over-the-top
performance
and character. He created a character, a persona.
He did, and then KISS just took it to that next level. And I mean. And then the 80s happened, and well, let's face it, what's the best about the 80s? Excess is the best, baby. That's right.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot that was good about the 80s that I remember. I spent most of it in the military.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you.
And currently, of course, Lady Gaga has taken it one level higher than all of them.
Absolutely. I'm just throwing in the chat here, guys. Again, for those of you that didn't hear, on Saturday, I'll be at Tiffany's Cool Finds doing a live auction, throwing together some lots. It's going to be awesome, fun time. They're great gals. Psyched to go back on there. They've invited me back. And like I say, Patrick, you call, I come to see. You call, we came.
Box, we came.
Yes. So
that's kind of interesting watching me actually do that, because
Who is that guy?
It's also I'd say, like, summoned like a water elemental. I will come and be part of. So, and then I'm also throwing in here for you, Chaos. I'm just throwing the link in here for. I don't have the exact. It'll go to the replay, I think, from last Thursday. But you can subscribe to Chaos, guys. On Thursday, I will be on his channel, and then it'll be more comic book related talk. Of course, we'll get into pop culture references.
Yeah, we might throw a toy in or two once in a while.
I mean, the Lady Gaga is. This beat is sick. I want to take a ride on your disco stick. Now I've got disco stick stuck in my head. Chaos. Thanks. Interesting story about that. My first time coming out of Chicago, I was stuck on the I-94. Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. Just dead stop. I mean, to the point that I got out of the car, because it wasn't my car, and smoked a cigarette and got back in the car. And this is when Lady Gaga was on her Upward, and that song Disco Stick was in the rotation every 45 minutes on the spot. So it's like when you say Lady Gaga, that's the first thing that it's like the file just popped out of my head.
I tell you, even with Lady Gaga, I think one of the best things that she did was that holiday album with Tony Bennett.
Oh, it was incredible.
Absolutely fantastic.
And don't forget her Super Bowl performance.
Oh, absolutely. She's super duper talent.
She sang the national anthem the way it's supposed to be sung.
Absolutely.
I'll have to check that out. I know she did the inaugurations.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, she's amazing talent.
One of my favorite songs by her, besides Disco Stick, is we are way off topic, aren't we?
That's okay.
That's where we are, Philly Flipper.
We got to do this.
We go where we have to go. We do what we have to do.
That's okay.
Sorry.
I think we're gonna call it.
What was that favorite song?
You and I.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and subscribe to her channel, because she releases her music videos early to YouTube, and then she sells them.
Absolutely. So I'll bring it back up in here, guys. So everybody in the chat, thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Do come back next week for the next topic. Do come on Thursday, same time, 9 o'clock Eastern. On Kollecting Kaos, I'll be on there talking comics, same type of chill vibe like this. And we'll be seeing you. I'll bring you guys back up if you guys have anything else you want to add, and then we'll wrap this up. So Chaos, go ahead. Anything you want to?
Well, let's see. Tomorrow morning, I'll release my Eternal My Light Project video. And don't forget, before you handle your comics, before you handle your collectibles, make sure you wash your hands. And if your collectibles are like some of ours, wash your hands afterwards, too.
Yeah. Mr. Murphy.
I got nothing.
Got nothing. All right.
Just here for the ride, baby.
Awesome. Thanks for coming, Patrick. It's great.
Oh,
I think it's a nice synergy between the three of us. Really appreciate. I know you certainly were excited. We talked about this topic. Good stuff. So thanks, man. Appreciate it. We're going to wrap it up, guys. We'll be seeing you. Have a great night. Be excellent to each other. Take it easy. See ya.